So the new year is here, and that represents a time for really getting some aim and direction on your career as a musician. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 most crucial things that musicians need to be doing in 2022. Hey, and welcome to Music Space, where we help working musicians just like you learn how to quickly and easily make a living with your craft. So if you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Now, there's quite a bit here to say, so I'll jump right in. But off top, I want you to know that the things that I'm mentioning here are in the context of you leveling up as a musician this year. And if you get these things down and apply them, you will make phenomenal leaps and bounds in your career. Now, the first thing you need to do as a musician this year is change your mindset. So one thing that I've noticed over the past year or so is that musicians have really gotten complacent. A lot of musicians seem to have just accepted things like low pay, $100 gigs, bad gigs, or just okay gigs as the norm. You've bought into the mindset that this is the best you can do, and if you want to make serious money as a musician, you either have to be extraordinarily talented, extremely lucky, or have some sort of gimmick. And nothing can be further from the truth. Do you realize that in today's world that it's a lot easier and more possible to become successful as an artist, band, or musician than any other time in history? And there are more and more opportunities being created all the time, and there are musicians and artists out there crushing it. So this year, you really need to get out of that sort of victim mentality and start taking responsibility for your career. Now, another thing you need to do is get educated on the music business. So another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of musicians are just really poorly educated on the music business and how it works today. If you're going to have any sort of success in this music world, in this music business, you need to have at least a foundational understanding of things like trends and how the market works, what platforms and methods are yielding the most success for musicians, the best marketing methods for artists and musicians, and on and on. You need to get a basic understanding of these things under your belt. So that means you need to do things like take online courses that are dedicated to helping you understand certain aspects of the music business. You need to watch content creators that are creating content around music business. And you just need to overall spend time cultivating your knowledge and understanding and learning of these different aspects of the music business so that you can be successful. Now, another thing you need to do this year is become more valuable. One of the most important things you can do this year by far is become more valuable. And this is something that I discuss in my social media masterclass course, but this is the way. This is the way that musicians and artists and bands are becoming successful in today's economy. It is a value-based market and economy, and the musicians and artists and bands who are out there winning and crushing it and being successful are the ones who are offering the most value. And by become more valuable, I mean a few things. I mean, become better on your instrument or your vocals. Learn a new instrument. And as I stated before, become more knowledgeable on things like the music business. But I also mean offer more value in terms of what you bring to the table so that value in terms of resources, time, and money can be given back to you for the value that you offer. And again, this is something I show you exactly how to do in my social media masterclass. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll drop a link to it in the description of this video. So be sure to drop down and check that out. Now, right before we get to the next thing, if you're getting value out of this video so far, do me a quick favor and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That lets me know you appreciate this content, and it lets me know what type of content to make for you in the future. Now, another thing that musicians need to do this year, and this may be a little controversial, but you need to stop playing in so many bands. Okay, I know it's cool in some cases to play with multiple bands and feel like you're in demand because you get all of these calls to play with multiple people. But you really have to think about and consider where that road is leading. So look at what's happening right now. You're misscheduling dates because you forgot which band you accepted dates with and you didn't put it on the calendar, and you're juggling dates. You're juggling music and set lists with different bands who all do different songs or do the same songs, just a different style in a different key. So you're trying to remember which band does what song in what way. And you're probably pissing off the bands themselves because you're not dependable. They can't depend on you because when they call you, you're probably booked with someone else. And let's be honest, you're probably not making a whole lot of money being in demand in this way. And to be clear, I'm not saying that you should turn down gigs necessarily, but this is something that has some substantial consequences that you need to think about and consider. Now, another thing that's really important for musicians to do this year is get help. And this is huge for musicians. One of the reasons that a lot of musicians, bands, and artists are not successful is because they try to do everything alone. And I get it, a lot of people are non-dependable these days. But the fact of the matter is that success is something that is achieved much easier, a lot faster, and tends to be a lot greater when you have help. And by help, I mean things like collaborating with other artists on your music projects. You want to start a band? Find someone to work with in doing so. Don't try to do it all by yourself. But by get help, I also mean linking up with someone like a mentor or someone who has more experience or knowledge than you in this area so that you can pull from that knowledge and experience and become more successful. And I mentioned this in the earlier tip as well, but that can mean things like online courses and joining masterminds and things like that, where you have a community of people helping you to achieve success. Now, just another quick bonus tip. Another thing that musicians need to be doing this year is investing in themselves. And this is by far one of the biggest ways to become more valuable, as I mentioned earlier. So it may mean things like getting new gear. A lot of musicians are playing or using outdated equipment that no longer serves their purposes. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend a lot of money to invest in yourself, but it means simple things like upgrading your strings on your guitar or bass or changing your drum heads. And it also kicks back to an area I mentioned earlier about educating yourself. That's an area that you definitely need to be investing in this year. But the question is for you. What are some things that you think that musicians need to be doing this year to level up their career? Jump down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on that. And here are some other videos that you can check out right now.